Yes, you did. Fucking Kane. My brother's keeper. Whatever happened to, am I my brother's keeper, huh? I'm on the run, G. We can never go back to where it was. But, I'll tell you how we can make it right. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Every hardship I suffer is a blessing I turn. All the pain and the strain into a lesson I learn. Draw it up like the sun so the message gets burned. I don't stress or get depressed, it's just a lesson I learn. Every hardship I suffer is a blessing I turn. All the pain and the strain into a lesson I learn. Draw it up like the sun so the message gets burned. I don't stress or get depressed, it's just a lesson I learn. Life is the you and adversity, I'm a student too. But I can teach what I know, so I can tutor too. Biology first, been through a zoo or two with all these snakes, rats, and pigs that I maneuver through. Niggas switch up on you when your green grow, but it's the envy and hate that make them scheme. So I'm my brother's keeper's the key to making the team glow. Till you discover your brother's mating your queen. Whoa, shit I thought was real was a fantasy trap. Left a callus on my heart, but I can manage with that. I don't fabricate bars, this reality rap. They getting paid for telling lies, that's a salary cap. Watch family disappear, left for dead in the cell. Co-defendant made it home, he ain't present as well. Ain't a ruler big enough for me to measure the hell. Turn the anger and the hurt into these treasures I tell. Every hardship I suffer is a blessing I turn. All the pain and the strain into a lesson I learn. Draw it up like the sun so the message gets burned. I don't stress or get depressed, it's just a lesson I learn. Every hardship I suffer is a blessing I turn. All the pain and the strain into a lesson I learn. Draw it up like the sun so the message gets burned. I don't stress or get depressed, it's just a lesson I learned. Death before dishonor is what they swear, but it's perjury. So the betrayal cut deep as a surgery. All the anguish, the suffering, and adversity gets interwoven through every one of these verses, G. I don't do the fake love or the dramatized, so that fact alone cut off a lot of guys. Plus I got trust issues, yeah I'm traumatized. Santa Claus ain't never been real, even my mama lied. Before you even cooked up the cake on your Betty Crock, he trying to get a piece of the pie. He a petty op, never let him witness you sweat. Keep it steady, op. Judge look me dead in my eye, gave me a Fetty Wap. They talk a good game, but ain't close to the hype. Gotta see him from afar, cause when he close he can bite. That's why you can't afford to be the emotional type on this roller coaster of life. Every hardship I suffer is a blessing I turn. All the pain and the strain into a lesson I learn. Draw it up like the sun so the message gets burned. I don't stress or get depressed, it's just a lesson I learn. Every hardship I suffer is a blessing I turn. All the pain and the strain into a lesson I learn. Draw it up like the sun so the message gets burned. I don't stress or get depressed, it's just a lesson I learn.
What's going on, world? This is the 100 TV. I am Christopher Life Willers, content creator, host, but definitely not doing this by myself. And this is my main man back for a second time, about to be back for about 115 more at least, because we ain't gonna stop till they take us off the air. What's up, man? Salute, man. Salute to the big face, man. Let the people know in case they don't know.
In case y'all forgot it was under a rock, it's me, the big face bully Bars, hip hop extraordinaire, DDMG CLE recording artist, now turned podcast journalist, a 2-hit podcast. This might get us canceled, and yours truly is on the big face truth with the big face bully Bars. My eyes look like I got the lazy eye going on with the camera thing, so don't be trying to make jokes.
And I look like an essay from Cali right now.
Word, essay.
What's up, fool? No,
hey,
shout out to everybody. A lot of people don't know, man. My father that raised me, man, Mexican. That's all I know. I grew up in a Mexican and black household, man. Hey, I got flavor. I got spice.
Hey, that's called seasoning, baby. Seasoning. Yeah, that's seasoning.
Man, we ain't gonna waste no time. I'm gonna get the background going, right?
Gotcha.
we hear it discussed in a lot of ways, but I don't really know if we heard it discussed in this way. Two guys that, you know what I'm saying, are going through it, you know what I'm saying, been through it, ups, downs, in betweens. And what I'm talking about is relationships after prison. A lot of times we hear the women speak, and salute to the women, salute to the queens, salute to them, man. Salute to anybody that goes through any situation, relationship, moment, whatever it is with somebody that's incarcerated. Man, because it gets hard sometimes, whether they're behind bars or after they get home. So yeah, we talking about relationships, man. I'm married. We just celebrated our 3 years.
Congratulations to that. That's a beautiful thing, man.
It is, man. It is. We got married while I was in prison. Right.
Oh man, I did that too. Salute to that. Damn right.
Yeah, that happens in prison. Crazy story, real quick. They tried to ship me the Friday before I was supposed to get. I was supposed to get married Sunday. They tried to ship me 2 days before.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
bro, I acted a fool. I told them we was gonna make a movie, but they did. I kind of used the fact. I ain't gonna lie. I used to my advantage the fact that I came from a higher level, and they hadn't had anybody that came down from that high of a level to a level 1. But I thought they was gonna send me up off there. But they did transfer me like the day after we got married. 2 days after we got married, I was gone.
Yeah, they fixed you. Marriage is a beautiful thing. Let me ask you a question. What was it like when, how was it like when you, how was the transition for you when you came home? That was your wife incarcerated, but you never could consummate the marriage, of course. I was married incarcerated as well. So, I know the whole vibe, Me and my ex-wife was rocking when I was incarcerated, but then somewhere down the line, the shit turned into a whole shit fest. But nevertheless, to say, she's happy now. Salute to her, you know what I'm saying? What was your transition like? How did you deal with that when you first came home?
Man, I think so. I came home January 13, 2020. So I'm approaching 3 years, and I feel like I'm still transitioning. It's crazy. I'll tell anybody, man, it's not easy. It's not easy to marry somebody while you're incarcerated on either side, because you're really banking on the fact that when y'all move in together, everything's going to be okay. And speaking from personal experience, I love my wife. I'm so grateful I'm with her. I'm going to be with her. But I wish I had some time to adjust or decompress. I came home 2020. I remember Kobe, his daughter, the other individuals, they had passed, the helicopter crash. And the next thing I know, everybody had masks, and I was married. And I had a house with a mortgage, a wife. I just came home from 16 years, 11 months in prison. And I don't even know right now if I fully know who I am. So that makes it tricky at times.
Not only that, let me ask you this. Did you know your wife before you was incarcerated?
No. When we was on St. Bride's.
Shout out to the brides.
Shout out to the bride. Anybody, man, shout out to the brides, man.
The whole bride. What up?
That's all I'm gonna say, man. The brides was crazy. For it to be prison, it was crazy. The brides was in its own way, all right, man. In its own way. Not that I want to be there again, but
But anything you go through, you got to make the best of it. Be made the best of it. If you got to go back, the bride's where it's at. That'll Lord. I understand.
Yeah. It was good dudes up there, man. But when I was up there, I was doing the speaking at the programs, and we had started the couples seminar. And what happened was my man's wife, Bam, shout out to Bam, had heard me speak. And basically she had told her homegirl, hey, there's this guy, my husband's, friend right hand, whatever, however she phrased it. He's smart. He's doing some nonprofit work. You could probably give him some advice on that. And we literally met through a phone call and two close friends. Yeah. And it went from business to just conversation, because when you locked up, you yearning. And I'm one that likes to learn. I like my brain stimulated. Like, I need to be connected to you on a mental level. The physical is cool, I'm with that. But if I'm not connected mentally, It ain't gonna work. And she
ain't gonna go nowhere.
Yeah, she's smart, man. She's smart with the numbers. Shout out to her. She's the her title at the school. She's a co-owner. Her title is director of operations. Mine's executive director, but it should be reversed. She the mastermind.
Word.
You know what I'm
saying? Salute to that. Definitely salute to all the queens holding everybody down, whether you're out or in. That's big bands.
Yeah, facts, man. Because it's not for everybody. It's not an easy task, man. And we love to get.
Yeah, I mean, I found out. Yeah, damn right. It's hard as a motherfucker. I found out. Fortunately for me, I knew my wife prior to my incarceration. So, it's like the only dynamic is different is if you don't know a person, because you don't know a person's habits, whether they're good or bad, their mannerisms, how they are in the morning, and then on top of that, just coming from where we came from, unfortunately, we've been around people for X amount of time, we never had a moment to ourselves. So to a large degree, I think if you do any more than 5 years in prison, man, you should come home and take a moment to decompress and get your shit together. Because there's things about life that you don't even know. There's things about yourself you found out while you were in prison. You know what I'm saying? So you got to actually learn how to maneuver through life outside of prison with these new things you learned about yourself in the outside world. So,
They say the world changes culture changes like every 5 years. So like you said, 5 years or better. Like the world's changed, and the world is different. And how long did you do again behind
on this last I just did 10.
Right. So I guess the question I would pose to you is, you did know her prior to you going in, but she had to have changed in 10 years.
Yeah, she definitely metamorphosized into a better person. You know what I'm saying? Out of respect of being honest, because she's not here to defend herself. Right. I will say that for a large part, some things that I took her through incarcerated and outside of incarceration may have been unfair. You know what I'm saying? Some of it might have been selfish, just being honest. When you're incarcerated, no matter who you're surrounded by, you're by yourself. So 90% of the things you do are selfish driven. It's for your own, your own preservation. But they say self-preservation is the key to survival. But when you have a relationship, that doesn't work. So, some things I did, to be honest, I didn't necessarily do everything good in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? And I think I failed because I didn't give her a chance to probably get acclimated with me being home. She was living her life by herself. Now she got to adjust to a nigga being there. You know what I mean? And the way I do things. So, a large part of me takes some responsibility for some of the things falling apart. She was abusive though. That's why we ain't together. But that's neither here nor there. There is some parts in there that I played, that I could probably did different, just being a band about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I definitely, man, I took my wife through some things, man, while I was locked up. I remember days where I might have been frustrated with something going on, and because I'm talking, I used to get on the phone, not maybe not all day, but I'd be on the phone decent amount of time, and I started to get frustrated with her. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because she became like a sounding board, and it was unfair. I think it's stuff like that. I think even moments out here, you know what I'm saying, where I'm learning not to do that to this day, because a lot of times when you're in a relationship with somebody, let's X the incarceration thing out. A lot of times when you're in a relationship with somebody, those closest to you, sometimes they catch the brunt of whatever you're feeling.
Yeah. Stop.
So, you over there getting
sorry. I gotta see my dog. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all probably wonder why I'm freaking out down here. She is worsen, bro. She won't let me do nothing. So y'all forgive me. This is my new girlfriend. How you doing? Say hi, girl.
She's sweet.
She mad at me, bro. Ain't no way. That ain't my new girlfriend. Big shout out to me. For me, any relationship coming home is difficult. And the reason why is like what I touched on last time we had met, when you come home from incarceration, people's life has been going on. And it was going on while you was away. You know what I'm saying? So now these people slow their life down to accommodate you. You know what I'm saying? Now you're a different dynamic because you've been going all of these years. So they got to slow down to get you caught up and make sure you right. But after a week or two of that shit, they like, okay, nigga, you got to become self-sufficient because these bills are still coming. As a matter of fact, since you here, the water running more. There's more lights on. There's more trash. You know what I'm saying? So you add like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? So you become a whole baby to a whole grown person. They got to take care of you for the first 2 weeks of your life after incarceration. You ain't got no clothes. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no car.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna say my situation was different. You know what I'm saying? I had a good support system. So I did come home. I had a car, but it was like a $500 Plymouth Grand Voyager. It smelled like fish on the inside. I drove that thing all over Atlanta. But hey, the green goblin. But you know what I'm saying? You save up. I think I had saved more. Well, I saved more than $1,000, but honestly, not too much more than that in the system. When I came home, the first day I came home, the circuit breaker blew in our house, and we had to get the whole junk replaced. And there went basically all the money I had. Day one, or day two, because we had to get the power back on.
That's mandatory.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things I struggle with to this day at times is when those unexpected life moments come, because I was locked up for 17 years, and I ain't get no warm up. I ain't take my bumps and bruises in my 20s because I was locked up my whole 20s. So now I get locked up at 19. I come home at 36. So a lot of these things I'm just seeing for the first time, and I don't like the way it feels. So now I'm getting anxiety. Now I got this. Now, you know what I'm saying? You spoke on the privacy piece. When I get frustrated, I want to go to the basement away from my wife. Away, you know what I'm saying? It was just certain things emotionally, man, that I'm working on through therapy, stuff like that, to just try to, because you're gonna feel what you feel. But for me, the goal in my marriage is to not take what I feel and bring it over there. You know what I'm saying?
But you should be able to discuss it though.
Yeah, that's one of my downfalls. Like, I know for a fact that's something, man, I'm trying hard to work on, man, because I've kind of been like that my whole life with my right hand.
So you don't talk when you go through something. You don't say nothing. You just shut down, go downstairs, and chill out for a minute.
I shut down, and then if usually somebody out of love will come and check on me, and I'll be like, "Yo, I'm good," and then somebody else will come out like, "I'm good," and then the third person comes, and then I unload, I unleash the baggage, and then
you snap.
Sometimes it comes out good. Sometimes it comes out frustration. Sometimes it comes out, why wouldn't you just leave me alone? Because that's one of those unhealthy habits I picked up when I was incarcerated. And I'm just connecting the dots, I think. I don't know if it really is, but man, when I wanted to lock, I used to lock down. Like they call power rec, I used to stay in a cell a lot of time. I went through like a few years like that because sometimes I need my space. I'm a Cancer too, so I don't know if anybody believes in that stuff. Maybe that's what people said. That's why it is. But I'm introverted and taking hits and trying to adjust and not panic.
I'm gonna say this, right? It's funny you said that because the shutting down part. Again, my current situation is easy to explain, and I'm gonna just put it like this: I have a spouse that we're estranged from, and I'm estranged from. We're estranged from, like me and you go with her. So I said we estranged, like we go with her, like that I'm estranged from. And
it is 2022, but I'm old school.
You feel me? I don't feel like sharing. You know what I mean? So the sad part is, and you my brother, so I'm pretty sure you could take this piece and kind of understand. I'm going through the same situation with my ex or soon to be ex-wife. You know what I mean? When we go through issues, that is the catalyst for us not fixing stuff because she doesn't know how to transfer her emotions into conversation. So what ends up happening is she goes through a shutdown phase. And then we have an issue in the air that hasn't got resolved because you won't talk about it and I can't talk about it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like
my wife wants to talk about it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be honest, man. For all you people that shut people down when y'all get upset, y'all pieces of shit. Cause y'all
you know why though? Yeah. Honestly, can I tell you something? And this is real. Yeah. A lot of times people are dealing with a lot. True. And as for people like me that do shut down, I don't consider it shut down. It's more of a let me get in the right headspace. because certain people, they can't have a conversation right then if they're in an emotional space, because what do people do when they're in emotions? They say things a lot of times they don't mean.
They don't mean, they react.
If a person's done that 5 times or 20 times in their life and learned some lessons, and then you keep hearing a wise man thinks before he speaks, that's usually what that person is doing. They trying to process, reflect, and if you give them time, eventually, I would say 99.99% of the time, the conversation will come. It might be a week later, but it'll be a healthier conversation.
Now, I'm gonna give you that pass because I understand that I'm a very impulsive dude. That's why I went to prison, for being impulsive. So I understand if you slow down, you could definitely get your bearings and come and reattack the same situation from a different perspective. That's 100. What about that 1%? Because you said 99%.
Yeah.
I was married to the 1% that never came back around with the conversation. So we go through something, and then guess what happens? It's there, it stays there, and then we don't speak for like days, you know, like we be in our own little fake ass argument, whatever you want to call it. And then after that, we right back to going along our normal lives. Meanwhile, we never addressed that problem that was right there.
Yeah. I would say,
when I go back to go get it, it's like it comes out like, I don't want to talk about this shit. Like, wait a minute. You can't force me to deal with a situation the way you deal with it, because I'm not getting my release. You're getting your release, but I'm not getting nothing. So it becomes like a unbalanced seesaw, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, whatever you did to get over this hump, it worked for you. But I didn't get to do nothing that I needed to do to get over the hump. So you walking around the house in a great mood and you feeling all jovial because you got to express yourself through your method, but you left your spouse with no way to do the same for him.
So basically, you're not heard. You feel like, well, let me ask. I want to make sure. Are you saying you don't get a chance to be heard?
100. 100. I'm not heard at all. Like I don't mind sharing a little bit to give you a brief insight. You know, everybody has trust issues. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, sometimes I'm not saying I'm a perfect nigga. I'm just not an infidel. You know what I mean? I don't do that type of lame shit. But even though I'm not that way, that doesn't still mean that I can't do something to cause more insecure issues on her side. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. She's a woman. I mean, real shit. You know, you can talk to a female a certain way, and she could take it a sort of way. She could hear a kind of conversation. Why you gotta talk to her? And that just might spark her insecurities. We all deal with it. So just to give you a piece, like, she doesn't necessarily care for my child mother, but instead of her dealing with it in an adult fashion, she always got to make an accusatory statement. Now, the thing that makes it odd is she knows this, is that me and my child mother sit at two different ends of the table, and I deal with her grandmother to get my daughter. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for me to have my kid. So I don't even talk to this woman, you know? And the sad part is like, when I tried to have this conversation, it doesn't go nowhere. So I had to break down and tell her, I said, I got to be honest with you. I think you're a very selfish individual. And she was like, why am I selfish? I was like, because you have to understand you're in a relationship. What you can do when you're single may work when you're single. But the sad part is I'm a dude you lay with. You know what I'm saying? We kiss each other in the mouth, for crying out fucking loud. And you can't fucking talk to me, but you can get on the phone and talk to your best friend for 8 hours of fucking at a time? No, I'm not feeling that. Like, if that's where you at with it, then with all due respect, I'm gonna get out your way and let you go where you can find happiness. I just can't be the nigga you lay with. You understand what I'm saying? That ain't my lane. You know, I gotta feel included too, like I make you feel included. You know what I mean?
So I say a few things. I'll say one, I was in a relationship with a woman, past relationship. And I used to have, like I said, shut down, blah, blah, blah. But she would never give me enough time. She wasn't patient enough. And every time she would force it, the conversation would go left. And after that happened 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times, I became exhausted. And I really started shutting down, because at that point I felt like we weren't going to get nowhere. It wasn't safe ground to speak. I'm really big on safe ground to speak the older I get. That's one. The other thing I would do is challenge you guys to really think and reflect on this fact that's so true. Not just her, but you, 9 times out of 10, have trauma that has not been, you know what I'm saying, dealt with, etc. Root that may be dug deep, that are, you know, affecting her. Maybe you, I don't know, but people are impacted by things that have happened 20 years ago. There's no telling what she's been through with XYZ. And Lord knows, I always apologize to any woman, especially the black woman, because the black man is the one that take them through the most. And I apologize on behalf of all our behalf.
The phone ring. I thought I put you to the upstairs. Hold on. God, Jesus.
Good.
Dumb, man. Oh.
That's what happens when you go live, folks.
I know, man. Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? You still there? Bro.
Yeah.
Don't hang up. Don't hang up. You can see me, right?
Yeah, you're frozen.
All right, I'm trying to get it straight. That was my lady calling. See, that's the beautiful part about it. This is my new lady. She's a beautiful woman. She hold me down. She makes sure I ain't going through nothing, and she's always on my side. 100.
That's what's up, man.
Hold on, let me text her real quick. That's my phone slow as hell.
I'm gonna still finish that point though, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Please do, please.
So what I'm saying is, a lot of times when people in a relationship with others, they don't think about the fact of the trauma. They don't think about the roots. They don't think about what the person's been through, because they're so focused on what they want in that moment. Mental health is real, man, and that's all. I'm gonna give you an example. I used to, my wife's really big on, if we beefing or we arguing, whatever, like, don't sleep separate. That's her thing. Well, what do I do?
Don't sleep what?
Don't sleep separate.
Yeah, fuck no.
Yeah, but what do I do when I'm like, when we go through them days where we just I'll pass out on the couch, the food time, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it used to really bother her, and we used to get into arguments because I'd be like, why is it gonna bother you? Because I want to fall back, because I don't want to argue. I'm just trying to cool off. That was my whole thing, right? Me. I'm just trying to do this. I'm just trying. So finally one day she says, and it dawned on me too. She says, when I was growing up, my mother used to always be in her bedroom with the door closed with her boyfriend. Whoa. So, and I remember this because she wrote a book. Shout out to my wife. She wrote a book about to lose it. LaShawn Myers. Get it on Amazon now. But then I started really thinking, like, dang. And that's the thing. See, sometimes it took her almost 2 years to tell me that. And she's had 2 years to tell me that. But we can't force people to just speak. I mean, it sucks, right? But if you love a person, the thing is, you got to be willing to endure. In marriage, in relationships, there's going to be ups, downs. There's going to be moments where you're going to be tested. There's going to be moments when you feel like walking. There's going to be moments where you be like, man, you're going to go through that. But at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer. I could be wrong, but I'm going to say this. According to what I got in my heart, how I'm set up. If I love a person, whether it's my wife, my brother, whoever, I'm going to ride with them regardless. But everybody got a breaking point. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad we got to that, because I want you to know, and I want all the listeners to know, that please, my decision not to be with my wife wasn't over the course of a day. You know what I'm saying? It was my ex-wife, soon to be ex-wife, and I were we tried the thing back and forth 6 times. Mm-hmm. The first 4 times was on her. Mm-hmm. The last 2 times was on me. I walked away 1 time. Came back a couple of months later, tried it for 2 more days. And when I walked away this time, it was no going back. Because like you said, everybody has a breaking point. You're right, my guy. I agree with everything you're saying. If you love a person, you fight for them. I agree. But even a boxer, he can't stand there and keep getting punched in the face all goddamn night neither. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, you have to step back and take stock back into yourself and start realizing, this thing I'm putting a lot of energy into, especially if the other party ain't really fighting like you fighting,
you're gonna put a lot of energy and a lot of time is gonna go past you. And the next thing you know, you're gonna be like them people that be married to somebody for 60 years and can't stand that person, but they still married.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy, right? So my biological mom was married 27 years and she got a divorce, and she said that same thing. She never felt free. You know what I'm saying? She never felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like she was supposed to be there. But I think about my neighbors across the street that have been married for, I don't even know. They've been in that house for at least 30. And the conversations I have with him, I don't know, man. It's good wisdom. I don't think for 1 second any marriage that's been together that long ain't been through some hell.
And that's beautiful. You know what? But that's what I was trying to talk to her about. Like, you know, the shit we went through and broke up for is trivial, bro. Like it was no infidelity. I didn't beat her. She didn't beat me. You know, I wasn't out late nights in the street. I don't do that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Our shit was because of trust issues and honestly other niggas having other shit in their mind. Me and her. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a vision for my life. She might got a vision for her life and my life. You know, and I understand that. And vice versa for me too. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not willing to compromise, you know, what started it, what made me realize we was distant was I realized I was spending no time with my wife. That's what started it. I was spending no time. So what ended the hurdle was she go to work one day. I went to work one day. I came home. I was at home. It was 11 o'clock at night. She didn't come in the house till 12:30. You know what I'm saying? This shit been going on for a minute. So she come home, she take a shower, she dilly-dally, she wake me up. Then by the time I'm waking up to fuck with her, she going to sleep because she got to get up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I'm like, listen, man, we ain't spending no time. She got offended by it. She said, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do this. I'm like, yo, listen, I understand the bag takes is real, but you know what? And that's what I told her. I said, yo, I respect bills. I don't let bills run my life, though, because guess what? When I move here, when I die, this address still going to be here. And that bill still gonna come here with somebody else's name on the motherfucker. That's the bottom line. That water bill, that light bill, all that shit still gonna fucking come. But the nigga you lay with is telling you he fucking lonely, bro. He's alone. He don't have you. He don't see you. If you don't understand that you gotta give your man time, then by all means, chase all the bags you want. Have all the bags you want. But like her daughters told her and her son told her and everything, like, I'm at home more than you at home. This is your house with your kids.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So you got to understand, like, if you're not going to slow down to see that you got children and a husband, you just married me in December. You know what I'm saying? Your shit's supposed to change. If my shit changed, I slowed my music career down. I stopped doing all the extra dumb shit with the music, you know, performing. Like I slowed down. I started doing shit that made sense to do with, you know, with my life. Because I have a wife I got to take into consideration now. You know what I mean? So when she said, baby, I don't want you out all the way to 2, 3 in the morning, I'm like, all right, so when I go out to 2, 3 in the morning, I make sure if I'm doing a podcast or if I'm doing a show, I make sure I get in, might do some networking after that, and I try to hightail it back to the crib. Just to make everybody happy. But when I'm doing these things and I'm meeting your goals, and then you looking at me like when I say, damn, yo, I'm doing everything you want, can I get 5 minutes of your time? And you like, nigga, I ain't gonna stop, then that's fine. I looked into her face and I said, I'm gonna tell you like this. One day, I'm just gonna stop asking. And then she looked at me like, what the fuck that mean? I said exactly what it sounds like. One day I'm not gonna ask for time no more.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Let me stop you real quick. So I want to backtrack because what I'm hearing is when you were bringing your concerns to the table, you felt like she wasn't concerned with your concerns, right? My concerns was fuck you. So that's exactly what it was. So you know what I heard you say in the beginning of this is the reason y'all got divorced was trivial. I think one of the biggest mistakes we can make, especially as men and women, I ain't gonna exclude them, is to say or try to determine how another person should feel. And when two people are involved in a circumstance and decide to part ways, you can say that they're trivial to you, but you can't say that they're trivial to her. I would just say that. That is one thing I'm really, really big on, because we could be watching the same episode of Martin and you might be laughing at a scene and I might just be chilling. You know, we could be looking at the same picture and get two different types of reactions. So that's one thing I want to give you, brother to brother, just to take into consideration.
Yeah.
But
okay, well, to elaborate why I say trivial is because, and you're right, I got to take in consideration other people's vantage point. You're definitely right about that. Thank you for that piece. The reason why I called it, and it still might not be no better, but the reason why I called it trivial, I'm just being honest, you know what I mean? Because I feel like, when you look at the reason why people part ways, there's normally some catastrophic shit that comes along with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga was cheating, or the shorty was cheating, or he was beating, or she was beating, or, one was being left alone. I mean, 9 out of 10. You don't hear people break up because their dog barks too much.
I don't think it's that. Because I unfortunately, I know people that have gone through those things and are still married. They survived it and they redirected. And from what I see,
that's a band. That's a band. I know some people like that too. You're right.
I think the reason people don't continue down the same path is because they're no longer concerned with each other's concerns. And that's the point I was alluding to. I don't think it's ever the situation, because we can both be in agreement despite the level of it, the magnitude of the event. I can't think of none in the industry right now. Anybody, but somebody done cheated on their girl and got took back on TV.
Let's use the perfect example. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
Okay, boom. Thank you. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, and nothing but respect and honesty. But no, matter of fact, let's use Shaq because he came out and said it. Let's use Shaq. Shaq didn't want to speak on a situation because he said he was a serial cheater. I think his first wife, Shawnee or whatever, she said in her book, I think
he's a serial what?
A serial cheater.
Holy shit.
But his wife said she took him back like 7 times. You know what I'm saying? But just check it out though. It's not us for real, it's not us. Let me tell you something about marriage. As long as those two people are good with what's going on, then who am I? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got their own. If you ever been married, you got your own shit going on in your house. Everybody got something going on that y'all.
A lot of shit.
You know what I'm saying? So as long as if Shaq cheated on and in that moment she said we good. The issue is when heck no. Shaq, you know what I'm saying? Shaq was not concerned with her. She was cool. She was like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7. So I just think again, it's just about when those two people they just come to that place and they like, you know what, we not gonna agree on this one this time.
All right, well, I'm gonna give you the band then. Since you painted that picture so perfectly and eloquently, I'm gonna say this on live TV in front of the world, and I'm pretty sure some people watching. I am not concerned with her issues no more. I am not concerned with them. I am done with that chapter of my life. I am not going backwards. I have no desire to go backwards. And I'm going to say this on the air so we can understand each other. The reason why I'm not going backwards this time is because, as I said it before, I did it 6 different times prior, right? But the biggest hurt of it all was this, bro. When people have children that are outside of their relationship, I still believe when them children there, they have nothing to do with the relationship. You shouldn't alienate children. They have nothing to do with why we can't get along is not nothing to do with it.
Break it down to me one more time. Everybody else probably understood it, but you saying like,
okay, basically,
you have a child,
like I have 2 children. My ex-wife has 3 children, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna use my current situation. Fuck it. My lady has 3 kids and I have 2. So if we don't work out, her kids fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So if we don't work out and her kids say, hey, mom, I want to go sit at Bar's house for this weekend. Am I going to say no? Fuck no. They can come over. Why the fuck can't they? They kids. You know what I'm saying? They still look at me like the father figure or the authority, whatever you look at me as. You still got that love for me. So even if we part ways, I don't come back to my house and I don't pack your son's shit up. I don't pack their PlayStations, their video games and send them around the corner. I don't do that because they still have a place here. Right. But you thought it was okay to pack my 2-year-old daughter's shit up and send it around the corner. That let me know in effect that my daughter has no place there, regardless. So all of the stuff she was saying prior to us getting back together, where she reached out to my daughter's grandmother and wanted my permission to take her to the zoo, and I obliged that shit, and I was like, yeah, go ahead. You was faking, my nigga. It was phony. Because my daughter should have never been her stuff should have never been taken out of your crib. Because now what it tells me in effect is she has no place there.
I'm gonna say this. You opened up at the top of the hour and you said she's not here to defend herself. So
no, this is my wife now. My ex-wife, the first one, I was being respectful to her. She's not here to defend herself. This one, I don't care if she defend herself. This is my truth. She can't get nothing out of this one. She drugged me. I'm sorry. She drugged me decent. I gotta fix her. I'm sorry.
I hear you, and I'm glad.
I'm gonna be nice.
I'm glad you got to get that out the system. I want to switch it up because you just mentioned children.
Yeah.
You just mentioned children. I'm not a father. I want to say that. So I don't know this perspective. I don't know how it feels. Lord willing, one day. But it's, what did that feel like? I mean, because what I heard, and I don't want you to go and you just went all the way.
No, talk, bro. Yeah, we kicking it. Talk.
And to the core of it, what does it feel like when you put in a situation where you feel like, dang, I got to choose between my child, which I'm pretty sure you're always going to choose your child, and the woman I wanted to build it forever with, like, how does that feel as a man?
It makes me place? The first time, this the second time it happened with her and I. You know what I'm saying? The first time she packed all in my daughter's shit and sent it around there, you know what I'm saying, with my shit. But this time it felt a little different because her shit came around by itself. It was just her shit. It fucked me up. But would it make me feel like, honestly, being honest, the first feeling I felt like I can't pick a right woman worth a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, it's my judgment fucked up. And it's not the woman at this point, because you got to start looking at yourself like this person probably exhibited cues that showed you she wasn't a valuable asset in your life, but you probably was looking at a cute face or a fat ass or whatever you was looking at and got sidetracked. And you let the sidetrack you. Now you derail like a motherfucker. So, you know what I mean? So, but it makes you feel, I'm gonna be honest, real shit.
A lot of dudes is coming home. And the first path they crawl, the first pretty lady to smile at them and cook them a meal, and now they in situation, they done cross lines they can't uncross. That's all I'm saying.
Feel me?
And they so wish like, they could.
Yeah, you can't undo what you done did.
Vice versa, though.
Real shit. Hell yeah, real shit. Yeah. So what it made me feel like after I get past that point, then it becomes a major trust issue. Because now I start looking at you like, damn, I can't trust you around my kid, because if we don't get along, then how I know you're going to treat this one right? You know what I mean? So at that point, it becomes now, like, even now with my new lady friend, she has seen my daughter, you know what I'm saying? And she has even interacted with my daughter. My daughter, go for it and stuff like that. It ain't like they don't know each other, but I think my lady's doing the same thing with me, just taking out sweet time when it comes to these children, because if we don't work, we don't want niggas to get involved, and then this shit go downhill, and then these kids is wrapped up with somebody that ain't gonna see no fucking more.
I think that's smart, though. That's a smart move,
real
though.
Shit.
That's
real shit.
That shows maturity. You know what I'm saying? That shows that somebody's thinking about somebody. So
real shit. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this in defense of my soon-to-be ex-wife. If she ever wanted to see my daughter, I wouldn't stop her, because my daughter's been in her life since she was 3 months old. You know what I'm saying? My daughter's now 2, about to be 3. So at the end of the day, on my side, even though I got all my daughter shit in here and all of that, if I get a phone call, I would call my daughter's mother and I would make the OG call and say, hey, I'm letting the baby go around there. And I really wouldn't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like real nigga shit. The only thing I'm gonna keep it a band though is I don't want my daughter around your new nigga. And I'm sorry, because I ain't with that. That's not his kid and they don't got no relationship. So I don't need none of that.
Yeah,
I'm petty there. I'm sorry. I'm petty there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I ain't grown yet.
That's not petty. It's 2022. Your daughter's 2. I'm a big like. I forgot somebody had told me that. It might have been my man Ambo. Somebody. But I think I was watching this. Somebody, but basically, he was like, "Man, if my kid can't talk, I ain't just gonna have him around nobody." And I'm
100.
You know what I'm saying?
So, then I don't know. This nigga might be in his feelings. He might feel like you still love me and do something to my daughter or something. I gotta come around there and beat this man up with some crazy shit. We ain't got time for none of that.
Yeah, my goddaughter, rest in peace. My goddaughter Asia, she was thrown down the stairs. She was 18 months. She was thrown down the stairs by her mother's boyfriend when she went to work.
Yeah, I'd have fixed that nigga too. I'd have fixed him. I'd have fixed him. I'd have made sure the cops know I was gonna fix him. I'd have told him I'm going on the run. You better find me before I find him, or find him before I find him. One of the two. That's all you got.
It was one of them situations. It was one of them situations. Real talk. where one of the few times I was grateful that I was in the pen because
do you understand? Like a kid, my daughter is so adorable, bro. She's helpless. She can't do nothing to defend herself against a human being, a grown person.
Yeah, but the other thing,
I'm a scary nigga, bro.
Yeah, I already know you got to protect the youth, man. Bottom line, especially your C's, you got to protect it. We got to protect the community's youth.
100.
But I want to say this though, that's an OG move though, because saying that you would allow her to see your daughter, because at the end of the day, people change, man. I know I changed. I know there was times where people looked at me and they probably were like, "Yo, he's never going to change." That was
different back then. Yeah.
I don't want to say people that hated me, but people that were highly angry and upset with me and probably felt like they didn't want to see me again. And now we talk quite often because I changed. You know,
I believe every human has the propensity to change. I don't believe no one wants to stay the same. The difference is, I believe it takes something to affect the change. You know what I mean? Sometimes I believe you have to be drastic to get a person to see your seriousness of the outcome of the situation. Hence me walking away from a marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I don't give a fuck what the fuck you thinking? This shit is not right. And I don't have to sit here and be unhappy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one has that. No one has the right to make anyone. I'm pretty sure I made her unhappy. Keep it a band. She expressed some things that I did she didn't care for. You know what I'm saying? But the difference is, and I go back to the main meat and potatoes. You don't get to express yourself when you're mad and when you upset. But then when I have a gripe, then we shutting down and we can't say nothing.
Yeah,
it's wholly selfish, bro.
But again, it might not be her fault. That's why I brought up the mental health thing.
That's right, and it might not be her fault. You're right.
Because it might not even. It might not be her, man. Let me tell you something. Again, I keep saying it, but that's one of the themes for this show. There's things that's undiagnosed. I didn't get diagnosed until the age of 39. I'm 39 now.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why. I would literally in my mind be saying, no, walk right, and my feet would be moving left.
Whoa.
That's great. Real talk. And I'm just saying, I got into a mode of searching for certain feelings, and I didn't know why. I know why now through therapy and going back to the root, tracing it back, you start addressing it. But I started to like certain negative feeling. I started to like the drama, the feeling when you get, you know what I'm saying, kind of, you know what I mean?
Juiced up.
Yeah. So but here's the thing though. This was crazy. I would yearn for it, but verbally, I don't want that. And even mentally at times, I say, no, I ain't trying to feel like that, but my feet would still move to it. So that's the one thing I would say. I know how you feel, believe it or not, in some ways. And I get it, but I would just challenge you to maybe reflect on that thought that maybe how she reacted and responded to a lot of things. It might not have even been you. It might not have been something she can control. I don't know if you guys have been in therapy. Me and my wife, we go to therapy. Our therapy just dropped.
I tried it. Listen, this is so real, right? This is how I know it wasn't going to work. Yeah. When we started hitting our joint, I said, yo, let's call a pastor. First, I said, let's call your daddy. She ain't want to do that. Let's talk to your brothers. She ain't want to do that. Let's talk to your aunt. You ain't want to do that. I said, let's talk to the pastor that married us, that gave us the motherfucking the meetings before we actually got married. Stop, yo. Move. You're gonna die. You eat that shit, retard. Stop. You're trying to eat goddamn bug spray. Nigga crazy. So crazy, man. So fuck my whole thought, bro. I mean, she's just eating this shit. Look at this shit, bro. This nigga crazy, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why you don't? I block my dog. I got a bully too and a pit. I block them so they can't even come over here when I'm going live.
Normally she don't do this shit, but being that I'm not giving her no attention, she's being an idiot. This is her way of getting my attention. But I bucks on that shit. I'm working right now. But what I was saying, she threw me off the game, man. God damn.
I want to switch it up anyways though. You done threw me off about 4 times. The phone, I don't know what's going on with you. We're gonna have to do a warm up beforehand and get you straight D&D and everything.
I thought I had the motherfucker undisturbed, man. I'm sorry, man. That shit was crazy, man.
It's all good. But that's what happens when you go live, bro. That's why we do everything live. But I want to ask you this: exclude everybody else out. We just talking about bars. I heard a lot about the women you were in relationships with. Talking about bars right now.
Okay.
You said a couple minutes ago, you said, well, I guess I may have hurt her. No, you have. I'm going to say that, man to man. There ain't a man walking the face of the planet that has not. You know what I'm saying? So one thing we got to do is I want to encourage again, we got to, ain't no man. We got to hold ourselves accountable. The other thing is, when it comes to your responses and reactions to your relationships, period. That's why I said exclude anybody you're in a relationship with. Do you think from maybe how you came up to maybe your time in prison, do you think those experiences cause any type of, you know what I'm saying, reaction or effect on how you react or respond to things nowadays in relationships, communicating?
I'm gonna say this, right? In the interest of honesty, of course, your past has a direct correlation with your present. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing new under the sun. So I say that to say this: you'll face some of the same pressures of some of the same adversity, and because you felt that pressure before, you will go back to the place of how you felt when you handled it that one time before, and you'll handle this new adversity the same way you handled the old adversity. So 100%, I do agree that we do carry that, but I think I do have to go back what you said, and that goes along with the change part. If you don't change the way you think, then you continue to do the same things. Yeah. So me personally, now the way I am, and this may be like to go along with what you said, this maybe was unfair. Me, if I see an issue, I want to attack it now, not say hyperly, but I want to talk about it. I say, hey, Chris, I might say, hey, life, man, bro. You my guy, man, but hey, man, don't tell me that I gotta tell my wife I love her every night, bro. You know what I'm saying? You my guy, but I don't gotta tell her that every night. You know what I'm saying? But that's the old bars. The new bars, I might say, hey, man, you know what? You right, man, because you know what? It's pleasurable to tell my wife I love her every night. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I tried, and I also believe in not giving someone else's respect. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that made any sense to you, but basically, if you didn't do it to me, I shouldn't treat you as if you have done it to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not fair to me. So if my biggest thing, what I can say that I'm wrong for a lot of times, I'm loud. When I'm right,
but you loud by nature though.
100. It's like it's not by choice. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but when I'm upset or I feel offended, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like a dog with a bone. I won't let the motherfucker go. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably wrong. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Keep it in the band.
Once you get the rolling, you get the rolling.
But it comes from a place of understanding what respect means. You know what I'm saying? It's like Noriega and them always ask this question on Drink Champs: do you want loyalty or respect? I mean, respect is naturally given. How? When you see a person you don't know, what's the difference? How you doing, sir? That's respect, motherfucker. That's not loyalty. That's respect. So respect is automatically given to a stranger. You get what I'm saying? So if respect is automatically given, then honestly, the person I want next to me, I don't need her respect. I already got that. I need her loyalty. Right. I need her to understand that I'm gonna be a pain in the ass some days. Forgive me. I need you to understand you're going to be a pain in the ass some days. I forgive you. There is no such thing as perfect. It's called the dance. When you first get with somebody, you step on their toes, they step on yours. After time goes on, y'all niggas learn how to dance around all the bullshit. You start seeing shit you don't have to deal with. I don't care about that shit. And then certain things you see you got to deal with. And that's just what it is. It's ebb and flow, give and take. If a person is not willing to reciprocate that, then you're in a relationship that's half-assed and lopsided. And it ain't going to go nowhere.
You know what I had to learn, though, Bars?
What's up?
I'm still learning. Mm-hmm. No matter the circumstance, no matter the situation, I'm learning to deal with men in the moment as men, women in the moment as women, and if I have two children in the moment as children. Yeah. I can teach the same lesson in multiple ways. I can't take a square block and try to fit it in a circle hole or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I think for me, I can't speak on you, obviously. For me, the reason I say I had to learn that is because in prison, I wasn't an aggressive dude. Anybody that knows that I wasn't that, but I was I'm gonna hold myself down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, damn right.
Hands, but I started to approach any type of disagreement in the same fashion. And I had to really understand, yo, this is my woman. So I gotta learn not to speak with elevated tone, because the minute I do that, she's not hearing me anyways. So as the man, if I want to be the leader or whatever it is of my household, I believe, I'm not saying that this is what it is, but a lot of times I've learned if I'm coming off with the BS, eventually she's gonna get fed up with the BS and she's gonna start giving it right back. Not because she wanted, but she's just reflecting her energy. But if the more I learn to stay calm in the moment, patient in the moment, the more I'm learning to I'm learning to listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning to do all these things. Then it's easier to have that understanding. And for me, the goal, if we have disagreement, is not to be right, just to have understanding. I don't want to be proving my point. In penitentiary, I was proving my point. I've been in a situation recently out here, and I was wrong, and it made me step back where I proved my point. You know what I'm saying? And not nothing trade in, you know what I'm saying, but verbally. And I don't want to prove my point. I just want, when it comes to my wife, my significant other, I just want us to learn and grow. So that takes me being humble the whole way through while she's, revving up, and not saying she does that, but if that's the case, if I love that, I gotta endure that. That's just my choice. It's a process. True indeed. I think it's a tragedy that some people check out before the process really, allows to develop. That's why same thing in business. You don't have a lot of business owners, but you don't have a lot of business owners. Real, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't want to commit to the process. But the other thing I would say is sometimes it don't work out. Sometimes it don't work out, and it's okay. Sometimes it's not even about who's who or what's what. It's just that people grow apart. And when it comes to the end, unfortunately, what happens is hostile. You hear about it getting hostile because if those two people had to communicate, on a mature level, you know what, I got love for you, and I always will, but this ain't gonna work. A lot of times they stay in it too long. Here comes the explosion. Here comes, you know what I'm saying? It keeps getting worse. You know what I'm saying? About a day. So, it does happen. You know what I'm saying? That's why divorce rate is extremely high in this country. Hey man, so I can say that this society is not set up for marriage. I don't know. I live in Atlanta. It's nothing I haven't told, my wife. Any man, I feel like where you go, you're gonna get tested. You know what I'm saying? Your test may be going to the club. Your test may be women. Your test might be gambling. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But coming home from prison as a man, I feel like you're gonna run into a situation where you're gonna be tested. So the only thing I'm gonna say as I wrap up my little piece is I support 100%. I support relationships because we need relationships. We need family. We need Black families. And we need fathers in homes with their children. We need all that. But above all else, I support communication. I support transparency, but I support patience with that. I got to learn it's not about my time. And that's really all I got, man. We're going to have to do a round 2 on this. And definitely want to get some ladies up here, too.
Damn right. But before we go, I want to say this to anybody that was listening. And if any way, I hope I wasn't saying if I was bashing anyone. I hope I was very fair to the ladies. I hope I wasn't disrespectful in any kind of way towards anyone. I'm going to just put it in layman's terms. When a man beat a woman, everybody say, girl, you ain't got to take that shit, girl. Yes, no, girl, you ain't got to take that shit. That's what everybody says. So when a man being done wrong, it's okay for a man not to have to take it either. But on a real serious note, though, I do applaud. I've been married 3 times. So I applaud marriage, I applaud relationships, and I do not take the shit I did in any past relationship into a new relationship. That's what make me keep changing. I think that's why I keep getting abused in this motherfucking shit. I'm a nice guy. But at the end of the day, man.
Some of the things you say, I ain't trying to sound, I know you a genuine dude, but you must be a superhero. Because I that's one thing I don't agree with what you just said, but you are you and you inside your head and you know your truth. But you'd be the first person I ever met that said they never brought anything they've been through in another relationship into a new one. You gotta write a book. You gotta write a book.
Think about like this. How would you feel if I met you or the dude I met before you treated me fucked up, so I treated him and treated you like him?
I get that, but I get that, but I've never met anybody in my life that didn't bring what they've been through in one relationship, because it might be a good thing that they learn, might be a bad thing, but it's going to be a lesson from a relationship.
Oh, yo, no, you bring the lessons. What I mean by that statement is like, if I did something to this female that she didn't like, I won't do it to another. You get what I'm saying? The lessons transfer. Of course, the lessons transfer over, but the dumb shit, because I'm just being man enough to say my dumb shit. Like if I put holes, I don't do the dumb shit. But if I put holes in the wall in this relationship, I won't do that in the next relationship. You get what I'm saying? I believe, because what you're saying is 100. We do transfer shit over. We do carry shit over, but I try to not give no one else. I live by that shit. I don't want to give nobody else no one else's respect. I want you to know that I love you for you. And if you mad, I want to be mad at you. I don't want to be mad at life, but I'm mad at you. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. Yeah.
So, that's what I mean.
Yeah, most definitely.
Hell
hey,
yeah.
Man, salute to my brother. You're going to see us up here debating about 643 more times.
Oh, we got 4 topics coming, bro. I promise you.
We don't always see things eye to eye, but we definitely move in the same direction, man. That's 100. How you grow. You don't want everybody in your circle seeing everything the same. Y'all will never grow, man. Never. Get around people that's going to challenge you. Get around people that aren't going to see things. Shout out to my esthetician director, Jessica. Miss Jessica, she's the dopest instructor in the A. Me and her get into it 15. Well, we get better. We used to get into it 15 times a month. But we hold each other down when it comes to Last and Layers. When it comes to that school, we like Scotty and Jordan. You know what I'm saying? My wife, Bill Jackson. So you know what I'm saying? So
I love it.
All them. Shout out to Miss Rachel too. I mentioned them. My ladies up there, my dad. Get you a team. Get you a team around you, y'all. Get you a team that's gonna elevate. Get you a team that's gonna grind. Get you a team that's moving. That's really making. Don't get a team that's just talk. Do not get that thing, man. If you look up in your circle and everybody's feeling the same place 2-3 years from now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. If they making, I got a homeboy that makes he's $50-something an hour. He's an electrician or whatever. That's different. But I'm talking about you got them homeboys still at Walmart. No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Start thinking outside the box. Start having different conversations with people that have lived different backgrounds, might see things different, etc. Man. Again, salute to you, Big Face, Big Balls. Your podcast name is. Tell them what the podcast name is, bro.
All right, listen, y'all, make sure y'all tune in this Thursday. We going down with This Might Get Us Canceled. That is the podcast after Tony Stuff. That's the whole shit on Big Face, Big Balls. Make sure you tune in.
Your mic just went crazy and nobody heard anything you said, but I'm gonna put it in the comments, and that's how we do it. And my brother be back up here anyways, man. Big Face. Man, it's always a privilege and an honor, man. Anybody that wants to get involved with the podcast, you can follow me on IG, message me there. And yeah, we can get to it. We can have conversations on just about anything. But just
thanks for having me again too, man. I can't wait to come back up here.
We're gonna shout out to you, T Spills, the Power by Virginia family. Shout out to the whole VA, my second home.
Power by Virginia, what up, Big Loud? What's up?
Yeah, everybody. I want to meet Loud Seabrooks, man. I heard some good things, man.
He's a great guy, I promise. Real good guy.
Man. That's what's up. Shout out to everybody that's doing something different, somebody that's progressive. Shout out to anybody.
Big Cat, what up? Box. EDMG, CLE, you already know what the bird is.
Shout them out. Free my brother, Jefferson Ellie. The fight continues. Over 188,000 signatures. Prayers up. We're praying on his release. Waiting on his release. Free anybody that needs to come home. Anybody that's got a loved one incarcerated, man. Prayers, love, positive vibes to each one of you. Stay pushing, man. Regardless, I promise you, you keep going, it's gonna get better. Till next time, man. Peace, love, and blessings. Y'all already know what it is. Oh, one more thing. We're gonna start the panels up. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Anybody that might want to get involved with the panels, make sure you holler at me and bring your topic. We talk about everything up here. So,
what kind of panel we talking about?
Man, I'm getting the panels going, and then in lieu of my brother again, shout out to Jefferson Elliott. He got approved for the debate club in the pen. I'm gonna get the debate club going up here, bro. I'm gonna get two individuals on each side or one-on-one. We're gonna throw the topics and we're gonna get it in, bro. I already know, man. It's positive vibes only debate club. We ain't with
that's it, man. All the extra.
You already know, man. Till next
time.
Get all the way up. Salute.
All right, bro.
Positive vibes only.
That's it.
That's it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, G. Fucking Kane. My brother's keeper. Whatever happened to Am I my brother's keeper, huh? I'm on the run, G. We can never go back to paper. But I'll tell you how we can make it right. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Every hardship I suffer is a blessing I turn. All the pain and the strain into a lesson I learn. Draw it up like the sun so the message gets burned. I don't stress or get depressed, it's just a lesson I learn. Every hardship I suffer is a blessing I turn. All the pain and the strain into a lesson I learn. Draw it up like the sun so the message gets burned. I don't stress or get depressed, it's just a lesson I learn. Life is the you and adversity, I'm a student too. But I can teach what I know, so I can tutor too. Biology first, been through a zoo or two with all these snakes, rats, and pigs that I maneuver through. Niggas switch up on you when your green grow.